Hey, I think I am live. How you doing, pork chop? Dash and Wobble, how y'all doing? I'm sorry, I was watching Steve over on Rideshare Rodeo, and me and Emily was talking, and we both got hungry and put the pizza in the oven, and I got to eat one piece. So hopefully I don't have pizza on my mouth, but if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. It's all good. I'll eat some more in a little while. Hope y'all are doing well. Reporting for duty, Grandpa, are you there? I am here and alive. National Wumble. Hope all is well up in your neck of the woods. Man, I can't. I you work the late shift. I'll be watching your videos. You working some late hours. I can stay up that late. I just don't know if I want to be out and about that late. So I think I'm live. Yep, I appear to be live. So if I'm alive, I got a pulse, I think. So it's all good. Hey, there was some news that came out, and some of you probably already know, some of you may not. But here it is. We have some exciting news. I'm going to read it over here. It should be showing up there. We have some exciting news. The customers now have the opportunity to purchase cold and flu medications containing dextro, that big word, whatever that is. Basically, this is going to be a pain in our rear, especially if you don't like doing alcohol deliveries because of the scanning IDs. I know Emily has issues with IDs being scanned, but she told me something earlier that you she read it, or I think it was on this email that was on this. Apparently you can scan the front of the driver's license.
I read it on the Spark app.
Read it on the Spark app. I haven't tried that. I don't know. That would be great if it did. How you doing, T. Ryan? Hope all is well. But a lot of Spark drivers are not going to like this. It's going to add to the time that it takes to do these deliveries, and sometimes the a customer is not going to be there, and because it's not like alcohol, everybody knows that orders from Spark and Uber Eats for the liquor stores or whoever, everybody know, all these customers know they have to present their ID. But this is just over the counter cold medicine. So what's going to be a real pain is if we have to take that entire order back because of a cold medicine. Now that's my big issue with it. I don't Most of the time I don't have an issue scanning the IDs, but having a customer there for stuff that they are not used to yet, I'm sure when they order the item, it will probably tell them that they're going to have to present their ID. But how many people's really going to pay attention to that? So, do y'all have any thoughts on that? I just, I was just kind of wondering. I mean, it's going to be a pain, but I guess it is what it is. I don't see the big deal. I mean, if you can, they've taken the stuff off the shelves that we used to just get because I guess they use it for making crack or meth and all that stuff. But what's on the shelf now, I don't see why you'd have to have an ID for it. It's not a controlled substance or anything like that. And I don't know. Unless this is stuff that is not over the counter. I haven't really looked.
It may be the ones they keep behind the counter at the pharmacy.
Okay. Well, and if that's the case, I understand. If it's not the case, then I don't get that. Close that out and get me back up there and let's remove that. But anyway, so you have any thoughts or opinions on that? And how do you think it's going to affect y'all? I guess we'll all know as soon as we get an order with that in there. I had a problem using the DoorDash scanner last night on on a large order program order that had alcohol. The system froze. I ended up taking a picture of the customer's ID and sending it through the support chat. Ah, I didn't know you could do that. I don't remember ever doing a DoorDash alcohol delivery. I may have, and I did several Uber Eats ones, and but they delivered through, what was it, Grizzly? I think they changed it now, but it was from a liquor store. But yeah, I didn't know you. That would be good information to share. That if that is possible, and they'll accept that. Because, when it comes to alcohol, and apparently now there's medications, you better cover yourself. You don't want to get yourself into trouble. I have been reading on Reddit. It apparently is slow everywhere. It was pretty slow today for me, that's for sure. Did you get the notice that Sally Beauty Supplies is now doing spark orders for pickup? A gal needs her hair dyed rollers. No, I didn't.
I saw something about it on Reddit.
Oh, okay. On Reddit. I was just going to look at, what does it say, your zone? Because, it'll highlight the stores. What store is that? Oh, Kelly Moore. I haven't yet to get a Kelly Moore paint. Where is Sally? Where do we still have the Sallys? We used to. I honestly don't even know if we still have a Sally's. Advanced Auto Parts. I don't see it on our map, but I'm not real sure we even have a Sally's.
It's
here.
on Kemp Boulevard.
Oh, okay.
3916 Kemp Boulevard, Suite E.
So we still do have a Sally's. Well, it's not on our map yet, so they're probably rolling that out. As long as they have the order ready, I'm fine with it. Hopefully it won't be a shopping order. I was watching Rideshare Rodeos live, and that's what they were talking about, the shopping orders. And Kim Money Side Plans had brought up the fact about a TikTok video, and a lady was saying that men shoppers couldn't shop as good as women. That situation was dumb on the male shoppers' view. But anyway, I don't have an issue shopping for anything. I mean, feminine hygiene, none of that is difficult. The only thing that is most difficult for me is like the fingernail polish and the glue on fingernails, things like that, especially the fingernail polish. I have issues with that because there's so many different shades.
Fake eyelashes are hard too.
And you got to go through every one of those little UPC numbers. Get giggity. I was just thinking about you earlier. I was fixing to email you. I haven't seen you in a while. I was getting worried. I thought the catfish might have swallowed you. Good to see you. I seriously was thinking about that. Especially every time I look in the back seat and see my riding reel back there. We're going to have to meet up sometime and go fishing somewhere between where you're at and where I'm at, You've been digging the spark. That's good. Hopefully it's rocking and rolling for you down there. Call me Spark. Hey, whatever works, man. Whatever works and whatever makes the money. Yeah, it was slow today, but I think I got a big time tip baiter. I don't know. If they just reduce a tip, it'll be okay. The base pay was $8.50, and the tip was like $33. But deep down inside that that's probably a tip bait, but you're really going to decline it just on the hunch that that's a tip bait? That's why I took it. I mean, and I figure if they even reduce that to even half, it's still not a bad order. Yeah, it was. Matter of fact, I got it right here. It may. Let me make sure it doesn't show the. Oh, I can just go to trips because that was just today. Completed. Yeah, it don't show no names. If that'll focus. Yeah. How do they do that? They put their hands up like this. Oh, let me get it right. Oh. Trying to get that to focus. Well, anyway, 4160 delivery base pay 850. The tip was 3310. So I guess we will see. But you got to try it.
That $40 one that you didn't think was going to stick stuck.
Yeah, I had a $40 tip a while back that I didn't really think was going to, and it stuck. That's one thing I do like about the Sam's orders is those tips generally always stick, and you'll know within 2 hours. But today, I don't know if y'all saw. I don't know if y'all have me on Facebook or not, but I made a post. It was a terrible order, and then today there was like 3. What that one I sent you? It was 3 orders. Oh, I did the 3 orders. Oh man, come on! We're wasting time here. It was like 5 orders, 24.1 miles for $20.97. That was a Sam's order. And if y'all have picked up Sam's orders, a lot of times they're pretty bulky because they put all the stuff in a box. And then a Walmart order, 7 orders, 20.1 miles for $22. That's 7 drops. That's over probably an hour and a half. A good solid hour for sure. That's crazy. Emily's holding her hand up. She's got something to add. Let's
I did a 16 drop one today in an hour and 10 minutes.
And you didn't speed at all, did you?
Mm-mm. No, there's motorcycle cops all over town.
Oh yeah, she said the motorcycle cops was out. So that was quick. And sometimes you can do those. I did one last week, and it was like this house and then about 3 houses up and then 1 block over. And it was all those orders was like that. And that was a good one. But that's when you need to know that neighborhood and the area. I've been doing an early sport route, high mileage, but typically do about 26 plus per hour. Starts my day with ain't nothing wrong with that at all. I don't mind the miles. My car gets battered gas miles on the highway anyway. Less wear and tear on your brakes. I've only done 1 with 6 drops. I was wore out when I was done. The multiple drops are trash. I don't mind doing them. If those that I was just talking about was horrible, I wouldn't have done them. Mm-mm. And there was one worse than that, and it was like 3 or 4 drops for $12. I wouldn't have done 1 drop for $12. And I see people on Reddit, and there was somebody commented on a post that I made with that screenshot, and they said if you're driving like a Prius or a Tesla, then it's fine. And I agree, you're not going to use that much gas. But the thing is, by the time you take that order, you are able to go pick up that order. You have to wait on the loader to get loaded. Then you have to get to the drops. And nowadays, you pretty much have to be, at least in our market, proximity does matter. It used to not, but it does now. And you got to make it, so you got to make it back to Walmart. So you're really going to do all that work for less than probably minimum wage. It might not eat up your gas if you're driving a really economical vehicle, but I'm not going to. Well, it's $3.61 order, I think, is what it came out, and it's going to take you. It's going to take you an hour, so you're going to work for even as low as Texas minimum wage is. You're probably working for less than that. And it's just crazy. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. And I have heard people say, "Well, I'd rather take an order and make something for that hour than sit here and make nothing." And actually I'm the opposite. I'd rather sit there and make nothing because it's costing me nothing. And you have an opportunity to get a $17-18 order versus taking that $7.50 to $8.50 order, whatever. So I'll take a chance. I'd rather sit there and not spend any gas, nothing, and get a better order probably. And usually I do. Not always. I have sat in Walmart parking lot for 2 hours and not got a order worth taking, and I will decline them completely. I got no problem. I just reject. Anyway, try to avoid multiple apartment drops. Depending on what it is, and which apartments it is. We have 2 different apartment complexes here in Wichita Falls that are horrible. They're numbered, and I even lived at one of them a long time ago, and it's horrible. There is no rhyme or reason or their numbering. Most Walmarts aren't even capable of bringing out 7 correct items at once. Well, Emily's been having a problem with, and I'm out too, and just haven't noticed it. It seems that some of the loaders are starting to just throw the stuff in the car and they're mixing. I don't know if it's the loaders or the pickers or somebody in the back room, but they're getting the items in the totes mixed up with the other
2 days in a row.
2 days in a row.
2 different stores.
2 different stores. So you can't just blame it on one loader. So might kind of watch that. I don't know if they've changed something up on the inside.
I will check every one from here on out. Because, I mean, they were messed up bad.
Now, I have had them where they would say, I'm going to put this one in the trunk and this one in the back seat, and they've got it backwards. They've given me the wrong label. But hers was the actual items were actually mixed in with the other order. She had to sort through it to get it right. So, might kind of watch that. It might be they may have changed something up, because if you notice now, those loaders have to scan every label, which is a pain for them, but they have to scan every label. So they may have changed something else up on the inside. I don't know. That's why I do the morning routes. I have no breakfast market. Yeah, the DoorDash and all that, the Uber Eats, the breakfast and lunch is not even, for me anyway. There may be some other people in this area that will say I'm wrong, but from my experience, it ain't worth doing. 2 years ago, yeah, I delivered a lot of Starbucks, and Starbucks, man, that was $12 to $15 every order, and you could do 3 or 4 of them in an hour. I no more. You might get one. I agree. I generally gamble on waiting for a better. I do. You know, it's not worth, especially since I've had one car totaled already. It's not worth getting out there and taking a chance for $8.50. I know every time you drive, you're taking a chance, but you're increasing your chance every time you put the car in drive. And if the orders are not even worth that much, then that even lessens the reason to risk it. I mean, I've been playing spades a lot on the phone. And I don't play games, but I like the spades card game. But you don't play with people. it says names, but it's the computers. But between that and watching the YouTube shorts, I pass the time. Sometimes I go into Walmart and walk around a little bit. Off to do a job. I'll be back. We'll be here for another 35 minutes anyway. I hate it when they don't put some of the things in bags. I carry extra bag. Yeah. I had a guy kind of he wasn't really griping at me. His wife kept saying it's not his fault, and he wasn't really griping. He was griping to me, but not at me, because he liked having stuff in the bags. And then I've had some people gripe because Walmart puts one item in a bag, and one item in a bag, and one item in a bag instead of putting it all together. I'm old. When I first started working in a grocery store, we actually had a sacking training. You watched a video on how to sack groceries. This was before plastic bags, but that's the way I learned, and that's the way I do it.
You're aging yourself.
I'm aging myself.
Before plastic.
Well, before plastic grocery, well, there wasn't even I don't think there was any Walmarts. Well, there probably was in Arkansas. Yeah, probably was in Arkansas. But anyway, nevertheless, I understand you don't put sugar with frozen food and stuff like that. So you might put a 5-pound bag or a 3-pound bag of sugar in one sack and a loaf of bread in one sack. I get that, but this fellow was not happy because he had to put that, and it was weird stuff. I mean, it was like a gallon of milk, and those little mini. How many's in those little Cokes? Those little mini can Cokes. He was fussing because those wasn't in the bag, and I said, sometimes those tear through the bag, so I kind of get that one, but yeah, I carry extra bags in the car, but
I do too.
And sometimes the bags tear. I had one bag today. I kept trying to find the handle on it, and I had the handle. It was just ripped all the way down the side. So I just threw that whole thing in another bag, double bagged it more or less. That's what Emily said. She said, you're aging yourself. You said you was before plastic? Giggity said. Grandpa's older than, they said older than Willie. Older than dirt. No, it was before they used before they used plastic bags in the stores.
Right. Say it different now.
Well, they didn't even have plastic Coke bottles.
You're really aging yourself now.
But I tell you what, life was much simpler. And we got a nickel or 7 cents a Coke bottle for taking them back. That was a big thing. Yeah, I'm glad you got on Spark finally. You waited long enough to get on Spark. So I'm glad it's working out for you. That's great. And I don't know, you've probably done it enough to know now, but in case anybody doesn't know, when you're doing the shopping orders, I think Pork Chop or somebody had asked me quite a while back about what you do if you can't scan it. Yeah, I knew it had been a long time you'd been waiting. But on the barcodes, like your avocados, it might say 42.38. And all you got to do is hit the little question mark up at the top right-hand corner. Say barcode won't scan, enter it manually, and enter that in that UPC field, and then put the quantity in there. Boom, bang, bam, you're done. But it's the little 4-digit produce code. Took you 7 months. I guess I got lucky and just timed it just right because I maybe a week, but that's been 2.5, 3 years ago now. I don't know. It's been a while, but Yeah, I didn't know if you knew. You've done it. You probably already knew, but just in case you didn't, there you go. And if somebody didn't know, they know now. Yeah, it works out better. And I did find out, and I asked a picker the other day, and I knew I had heard their little machines told them where the item was, and I never paid any attention to the tag on the shelf, but on the top right hand side, they're all in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on their handheld computer, it tells them what number it's at. So that's how they find that stuff so quick. I wish Spark would do that. But Emily's looking at me like, you really need that? Because she is a good shopper. She's a fast shopper. She would ride with me there for a while, and she would be grabbing the stuff, and I would scan it. I mean, boom, boom. It was quick. I guess we could do like some of them, what I read on Reddit, because some people say that you got husband and wives, boyfriend, girlfriends, whatever, and both of them's running to happen. Both of them are working together, but she's shaking her head no. She likes her me time, which I think everybody does to an extent. They wanted me to scan the barcode on the ear of corn. There was no barcode. Yeah. But if you'll look, and I think I would have to double check, but and maybe you figured it out. But I think on the tag itself, it may have that 4-digit code on there. I can't remember. Have you ever noticed that?
What?
Like if you go to like corn when there is no barcode to scan. On the tag,
it doesn't work. I tried it the other day.
Well, I know, but on the tag, is there a 4-digit code, or is it just that UPC number?
The 4-digit code's on there, but I didn't know you could enter that until you told me that the next day.
Okay, so apparently it is on the tag. I hadn't really noticed it, but yeah, and, there's other ways around that too, but. You want to make sure the items are the same price. Well, no, that wouldn't work. I was trying to think of a way around that, but no, I don't know. You got help from an associate. That's it. Yeah. Well, they'll help you a lot. That's for sure. Yeah, because the cantaloupes probably not going to have tags on them or labels on them. I don't know if watermelons do or not, but we're getting into that time of year, and I don't think Walmart can buy farm fresh. I know our United supermarkets and y'all, I don't know if y'all have United down there or maybe Amigos, or I think Albertsons is the same thing as United too now. I think United bought Albertsons, but I know those stores can buy from the farm. So I know for a fact those are not going to have scan bars on them or labels. And it's getting that time of the year. We got about 2 more months, and those watermelons and cantaloupe should be coming in. I'm ready for some good fresh cantaloupe. I like watermelon too, but I prefer cantaloupe. Anyway. And we were supposed to go camping and fishing this coming weekend, but we're getting a carport, so that's worth it. So I'm going to just postpone. But I was looking at the weather, and it's supposed to be 49 degrees Sunday night, and that's when we're going to be camping. And 49 for Emily would be fine, and 49 for me would be fine as long as Emily was right up against me, because she's like an oven sometimes. But
you wouldn't survive 49.
I didn't like it, but I got enough blankets. But maybe the following weekend or something, it'll be like 60 for a low, and that is a lot better. We're still going to go camping. I'm going to go fishing too. But we have to be here for the carport people, which will be nice because we've dodged a bullet for the most part so far on bad weather, but we still got another month because it seems like it might be running about a month late this year for the real active weather. If we're lucky, we'll miss it all together. But if we don't miss it, we'll have a carport to prevent the hail damage, hopefully. We probably won't even be home when we have a bad hailstorm. No, I shouldn't say that. Knock on wood, that don't happen. I need a sleeping pad. Yeah. I don't even know what is going on. But how many Walmarts do y'all have in y'all's area? We have 3, and then supposedly they do Home Depot and Kellymore Paint and Advanced Auto Parts, and apparently now Sally's. But I haven't got anything from any of those except for Walmart and Sam's.
Have they seen the returns yet on delivery? Remember, I got one that day. I showed it to you.
Oh yeah. You can still just put in the UPC. It's like 10, 12. Yeah, I usually put it in my calendar and go back and forth. It's a pain in the butt, but it works. Yeah, that would work. But I know you can use that 4-digit code too. But Emily was asking on the returns if y'all had done them. And what do you have to do?
Well, I only took one. The second return I got, I didn't take. But the only return I ever took, I went to a nursing home and picked up some construction paper from little old lady and took it back to Walmart. So, but they only pay $10. So,
I remember now that I remember she said that. Now I remember, and I just don't see how Walmart even considers that a thing. If it's a high price item, but it was paper, they spent more on processing that order, and
yeah, it was $4.89.
$4.89, and they had to pay somebody to process that or enter it into the computer. Then you have to pay a driver to go get it. Then you have to pay somebody to restock it. Does not make sense, because Amazon now, and I had a deal because I had ordered windshield wipers a while back, and I don't know how I did it and why I did it, but somehow I put a 13-inch windshield wiper. I guess it's for the back window of like an SUV. And I was going to send it back, and they just refunded me the money. They said to keep it. So anybody needs a 13-inch Rain X windshield wiper, let me know. I'll send it to you. I think we still got it, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brand new. But I looked at one. Yes, I looked at Walmart to see if they carried that, because I thought, it's brand new. I could just take it back to Walmart and get my money back, which I guess is a little dishonest, but somebody else might needed that. But this Walmart doesn't carry a 13-inch. So I did a return easy, $10. I was heading back to Walmart anyways. Yeah, that's true. I just don't see how it's feasible to do something small like
the only one that I took, I was on the way back to 420 anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why I did it. And I was curious because I had never done it. The second one, I was sitting in the Walmart parking lot. So they wanted me to drive to get it and then bring it back for $10. And I was like, no.
I don't put my car in drive for $10. I won't even, if it's across the street from Walmart, I will not do it. And I know that's pretty bad, but it's just being honest. I mean, you've got to set your limit somewhere. A lot of people say, like I said earlier, they'll say, I'll take that $9 because I don't want to sit here. I'll sit there. I'm not getting out. And as a matter of fact, I did. I was kind of just using that for an example, but now I stopped and thought we have a dental place right in this little strip mall that's right in front of Walmart, and that was the first drop. Was that place? I was like, I could have walked that across the parking lot. Anyway, you counted 20 Walmarts. Wow. 20 Walmarts and Sam's in my zone. That's crazy. Here's 20 for a lap dance. Well, mine used to be 20. Then I went down to 17. Now if it's really dead and I hadn't been getting anything and it's like 1680, 1650, I'll go ahead and do it. But you got to put a limit somewhere in there. Are you going to wind up working for free? You know, if I was wanting to, I could get a job anywhere. McDonald's on, well, y'all may not know where Southwest Parkway is, but there's a sign out there starting at $10 an hour. You know, and you're not going to be using any gas working there. It's $10 an hour. And you ain't got to worry about your taxes. But yeah, 20 Walmarts. I bet y'all. Do they have the? Oh well, yeah. Do they have any of the vans there yet? I know in Plano, my aunt lives in Plano, and I think they still have Spark drivers, but they also have the vans and the employees that do delivery. I guess it's starting in the bigger towns and bigger cities, town cities, whatever. But I don't foresee that to happen in Wichita Falls for a long time, if ever. I mean, it could. The one thing that I don't see ever happening is the drone thing, because there's too many areas that you can't fly a drone around Wichita Falls because of the Air Force Base and then a regular airport. So you can only do it on one side of town, and I don't think it would be logical. It wouldn't make sense to even do that. And the payload on them, you're not going to haul a case of water on a drone. Not your average drone. Not the drones I've seen on YouTube videos or something that Spark was using. I don't think they would lift a case of water. Maybe a gallon of milk. Which app do you give lap dances? Well, he's giggity. Ain't no telling. I dropped off one delivery. There was me, another Spark driver, and Walmart van driver. There was about at least 20 packages piled up at the door. Huh. I've dropped off. Hey, Bud Soda, how you doing? I've dropped off a Spark order, and I've had an Instacart shopper dropping off an order, because I asked them, I said, "You're doing Spark too?" And they said, "Instacart." And I said, "Oh." They were dressed really nice, so I must have been after a office job or something. But yeah, it's weird when you're dropping off an order the same time another driver or delivery person is dropping off. No DoorDash or Spark less than 20 an hour for me. Yeah. I agree. And really, you can figure. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, you can do 3 or 4 Sparks in an hour." On average, no, you can't. On average, I'm not saying you can't do it, but on average you can't. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking at $20 an hour, you're looking at a $20 order on average. There are circumstances, I understand that, but on average, the best I've done is 2 in an hour, and usually and it's really bad now because usually you can't make it back to the Walmart parking lot, and now in my market, you have to be in the Walmart parking lot unless it's really, really busy or it's storming. The other day, I was getting orders from here at the house, but we was having some heavy rains. So the conditions have to be right. Otherwise, you're going to have to be, and it tells you proximity that counts, and it does. I used to disagree with that, but as saturated as it's gotten, and you really have to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can get 2 sparks per hour, but I don't know if you could do that every time and then get back to the parking lot or not. Now, there's definitely times because I've done 2 shopping orders in an hour, and that was really great. But they were going right there close, and you don't have to be right there. I mean, sometimes you will just back to back. And that's what happens. But on average, the round robins, you're only going to get 1 an hour. But anyway, usually not all the wait times are way too much. Yeah, that's the whole thing is the wait times for the spark orders. You can check in if you can. You might. Here's another hint. You might look around in your Walmart parking lot because a lot of the parking lot, 2 of the parking lots or 2 of the Walmarts here have kind of a dead spot in them. So you can start your trip like at 40 after. Otherwise, anywhere else in that parking lot, you're going to have to start it at 44. But nevertheless, even if you started at 44, you may not get loaded until on the hour. Depends on how busy they are. And we have one Walmart here. Sometimes there may only be 2 cars in that parking lot, and it'll take them 15 minutes to get out there with an order. It's totally ridiculous. Something's going on, but not knowing what's going on behind the scenes, I'm not saying nothing. It happens. Yeah, but you can do Uber Eats and DoorDash waiting on pickup. Well, you can, and I tried that, but generally I wind up missing my spark order and I put more miles on my car. So for me personally here, I'd rather just not even mess with it. If it's really dead, yeah, I'll turn on DoorDash. I just about quit turning on Uber Eats because the last few times they're always trying to send me to the base, and I need to get the 3-day pass. Get it when it expires, go get another one. But I don't know. I'm doing okay on Spark right now, but I'm keeping all them apps active because you just never know. I found out the point pickup people can check in earlier than Spark drivers. I would always be there waiting, and others would come and go before I loaded. Now I know. Yeah, well, we don't even have point pickup here, but like I said, there's 2 Walmarts that's got certain spots that you can go to, and you can start your trip earlier. And then because one of my, we have one guy, and he's got probably 8,000 deliveries, maybe 8,500. And I started noticing he pulls out and leaves. And then when I finally pull over there to the loading zone, he's there, and he gets loaded within a minute after I pulled in. And that's how I kind of figured out where that dead spot is. It's because I talked to somebody else and I found out where he was going, and it works. I don't check into a parking spot if it's Not ready. Well, you have 15 minutes once you accept that order on ASAP order. So if you're not checked in within 15 minutes, they can get you for late arrival. And our restaurants ain't fast enough. You can go right straight across the street. And I did, the reason why I know I did it, I went straight across the street from the Walmart to a well-known restaurant, and it took, well, it was Firehouse Subs is what it was, and it took them 25 minutes to get me back out of there, and then I had to go deliver it. Never again. That's why, if I guess if you've got a close restaurant and you know that restaurant, and if you do enough DoorDash stuff, you know which restaurants are fast. But you can't do it here. Not with our restaurants; they're too slow most of the time. Sometimes they're running good, but you don't want to get too many of those late arrivals, or you're not going to get very far. Yeah. This Spark, as far as I mean, DoorDash is pretty big. Uber Eats and Grubhub, I have been late on those, and it never nothing ever counted against me. I don't know. DoorDash, that's why I have my contract violations, because I was late, and I knew I was late. I wasn't going to argue about it. I knew it. You shouldn't have to drive away to start a trip and check in with John. Yeah. Well, I mean, it just lets you check in or start your trip. Once you start your trip, you can check in as soon as you get there. You don't have to wait to check in. You have to wait to start your trip. And that's, they've done away with the airplane mode. They've terminated a lot of people for using it. People saying, hey, I ain't going to do it. Well, yeah, you can get on Ransom or Reddit, and I don't know why, but they was using airplane mode, and that's what happened. ASAP never counts against. ASAP counts against you after if you have 15 minutes from the time you accept the order. Here, anyway, it may be different there. Still doesn't in my market. My buddy is on sport. Yeah. If it's a round robin, yes, you have to be there on time, and they make it hard to check in airplane mode or data off doesn't work anymore. Yeah, they finally fixed it, but a lot of people got deactivated over using it because you wasn't ever supposed to use it, and they kept trying to tell them, and they wouldn't listen. I had a round robin for 45 pickup that came through at 40. It was at a store far away that I could not have gotten to. There was no matter what. Hate to do that. Yeah. I know y'all don't know the area, but there's a town about 20, well, not even 20, about 15, 20 minutes away. I have been there and got an order. And when I took the order, I have 1 minute to be there. But technically you have 15 minutes. But I did get counted late arrival once for a similar situation. It's kind of a screwed up deal. Even your shopping orders now, I've noticed a lot of them. Used to you would get the order just 30 minutes after, and it would give you like 50 after to start shopping. Now it gives you like 1 or 2 minutes. It's crazy. It's like, I don't know. Which, as long as you stay busy and keep going, you ain't gonna worry about it. But I don't multi-app, and I've tried it mainly because of Bud Soda. But in my market, it doesn't work. It works for you, I know it works great, but it doesn't, because we've done the mileage, the gas usage, how much spark you're making, and how much DoorDash you're making. And you don't make enough on DoorDash for the extra miles that you spend when you could have just sat and got those spark water. But that's here. And like everybody says, every market's different. Even in the same markets, an individual, somebody sitting right next to you, it can work different. So you just have to do whatever works for you. Anybody tells you that you need to do it this way, you need to do it that way, that's just the basics. It's not written in stone. You do what works for you. You know, you can tell somebody how to turn on a computer. Emily. We was looking at the Hey Google thing. I can't say it very loud because my phone will pick it up. And we was looking at that earlier, and I said, call. I was just using it for an example, and I wound up calling her mother. But I hung up real quick, but I bet that. Are you in there?
I'm in the kitchen.
You might text.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
You might text your mom and tell her that was an accident. She just tried to call me.
Okay.
She probably saw a missed call. You know, I didn't know you could really do that, and Emily was showing me. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, I've had late pickups on ASAP order. I haven't. Like I said, that one counted against me, but the rest of them I haven't. But I'm never really late. But if you're multi-apping, you're gonna have times you might be late, especially with restaurants like ours. If ours was fast, it would be different. But you know, if they're gonna have an order, and it may have changed because, and that's so you might tell me or somebody. I think, haven't they started penalizing the restaurants for not having it ready? Seems like I remember reading that or hearing somebody saying something about it, but maybe it's gotten better. But they'll send out an order and they ain't even started it. So you can't go sit at that restaurant and wait on an order and then go deliver it and then get back to Walmart in time. And that's because of our restaurants, they're slow. But it's a different beast for everybody and everywhere. Yeah, hit that like button if you're getting anything out of it. And I just noticed you can see the top of my monitor. My camera must have turned down just a little bit. Anyway, so I hope everybody's doing well out there, and I hope this new scanning the ID for the drugs, I hope that don't turn out to be too much of a hassle, because I don't think the customers are going to be paying attention to that if it shows up on their app. And it might show up on their app, but customers don't pay a lot of attention to some of the stuff like that. And it's going to be a pain to load that up and take it back to the store, because you'll have to load it up and take it back to the store. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be a pain. I guess we will find out. One thing I know for sure is I'm fixing to go eat me a couple of slices of pizza, because that one was just a teaser. So I'm going to get off here and go stuff my face. I'll text them to say I'm on the way, and I will need to see some ID. Well, the app should tell them, just like with alcohol. So, and you gotta be careful texting people, because there's some people that are really butthurt over you texting them, just to let them know, because they get notifications, like 2 or 3 notifications. So I don't know, whatever works. Anyway, I'm out of here, folks. I am going to eat and then probably go to bed. I got reviews to do tomorrow and just all kinds of stuff going on. Anyway, I appreciate y'all coming by. I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. It's coming up on the weekend. Maybe we can make some money. I guess since I'm not going camping Sunday, I'll probably be working Sunday because Sunday is our main day around here. Anyway, y'all keep smiling, dashing, dancing, prancing, doing whatever it is you want to do. Just keep doing something because you're going to grow old if you don't. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.